Alright, sports fans, you have joined me in my pre-show jitters while I try to take a deep breath and acknowledge the fact that, yes, I am no longer a small town girl. I am about to be internationally broadcast on the radio. Okay, I can do this. In the meantime, I am still trying to do 300 episodes. Okay, jitters. Chatting with some friends, doing some deep breathing exercises, calming the hell down. Loosening up my tongue. See if I can manage to not stutter while I am on live radio. And I'm trying and failing to fidget too much. You can't see them, but my feet are going a mile an hour. The camera's trembling, that's fine, because my feet are bouncing on the bed, which is making the laptop tremble. Hello there. That would be me. Sorry, it's I guess is that how you say it? Okay. I'm not actually trained in anything. All of what I do is things that I have learned through life. Exactly. Yeah. No, I don't believe so. Okay. Are you talking about like Second Life? This is the part where I remind you that I am the nerdy. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, it was something that a friend of mine had suggested, and I wanted to run it past Kinte, and he said it was fine. So yeah, because I'm using my cellular device to speak with you to get the best connection, it just makes sense to have the video stream running anyway on the laptop. I can, yes, no problem, hon. You have a job to do. The only thing that I was wondering was, did you end up finding anybody else to guest star with me today, or is it just me? So that's fine. I can wax poetic. You have questions for me? I certainly can spend hours and hours talking about myself and what I do. That's fine. One of the things that my dad always asks me is, how are you affecting the world around you? And he certainly doesn't know what I do for a living. So that's a question I'm accustomed to having to answer no matter which one he says it. And I will warn you now, I have a superfluous vocabulary. If you feel that I am using words that are too big, by all means ask me to reiterate myself. I don't do it to sound smart. I've been doing it since I was 5 years old. Mhm. Mhm. Fair enough, so thank you. Absolutely. And having, go ahead. Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah. Well, and I am accustomed to addressing a mixed word too, so that shouldn't be something that I struggle too hard with. It, again, the only thing I ever get called on is my vocabulary. People just look at me like, what? I'm excited. I've taken my anti-anxiety meds. I can breathe. I'm totally excited. Sure. Hey, if I had a transporter beam, I'd be doing way better at my job. Just saying. I can. Do you need me to switch to a video feed on Skype? I can do that. Okay. 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 Well, I am logged in on the computer in Skype, so if you want to pull me into a group chat somewhere, I don't know if that's good thing. I also have a secondary chat I can switch to. Yeah, I gotta say, you have an amazing voice. Just pretend that you're talking to family. I am wonderful. I am excited to be here this evening. Originally or currently? I am originally from a town just outside of Barrie. I moved north when I was, sorry, that's Barrie, Ontario, because I understand that we're live cast from the States. I grew up in a little tiny town in northern Ontario from the age of 5 till about the age of 22. And no, I'm not going to tell you where, but let's just say that it's on the 48th parallel and it's bloody cold there most of the year. Um, and I have been kicking around southern Ontario for the last, oh, I don't know, you're going to make me do math now, about 7 years. I spent a couple of years in Hamilton, Ontario. I spent a few years in London, Ontario. And for the last year, I've been in Scarborough, Ontario. Oh, hold on, I have an app for that. I can tell you, they just came in from outside, actually. I was looking at a rental property. It is currently in Scarborough, Ontario, minus 18 degrees Celsius, clear skies, which means that it's windy as hell. And I've been missing most of the snow this year because I've been in Scarborough. I'm used to being in cities where we get the snow, and it's been ridiculous this year. I should have been in Buffalo. That's where I should have spent the winter. Fair enough. With a companion, it's not as clear cut as something like, say, just a straight up call girl or a straight up girlfriend experience. Um, Companionship is a little bit niche in that we each sort of carve our path of what our specialities are. Myself, I've labeled myself as the nerdy companion. I'm specifically targeting the nerdy and geeky group for several reasons. One of those reasons being that I am absolutely a geek and a nerd, and I very much understand that mentality, and it's something that I have in common with my fellow people. But I've also, let's actually go back to how I started, because that explains why I chose the particular path that I have. Once upon a time, when I was about 24 years old, I ended a long-term relationship in a very bad way. And I went through what I call my year of hell. I drank a lot, I slept around a lot, and I did emotional venting, doing my best to keep myself safe and sane, but just, I describe it as screwing my way through my little black book. Most of the people that I was hanging out with were geeks. They were nerds, and they couldn't understand how they were so blessed to have been chosen to be taken up with by this attractive young lady. What it comes down to is I don't judge. They may not know how to talk to me, but that's fine. I know how to talk to them, and I'm not going to get insulted when they accidentally say the wrong thing. I usually just kind of smile and go, what you actually should have said was, and then I give them several options of how they may have better navigated that particular conversation. And it went from teaching my friends how to talk to a girl to being get told that, hey, you're really good at this. You should think about making money at this. Skip forward to about a year later, I was working in an office environment and giving out life advice to people around me and kept being told, hey, you should be a life coach. Not realizing that it was an actual thing. I just assumed that these very sarcastic people were trolling me until someone whose opinion that I valued said the same thing. And I'm like, okay, pause, hold, stop. I have to go research this. What do you mean life coach is the thing? I discovered that people are getting paid thousands of dollars after certification to more or less tell people how to live their lives, which is more or less what I do, but to a broader standpoint than most of the rest of the life coaching that I've seen along the line. So what I've done is I've combined the call girl aspect with the life coach aspect and created my own niche as a nerdy companion. Absolutely, whether it's a friendship and an intimate relationship, a romantic relationship, at the end of the day, the one word that best describes me in a professional capacity is teacher. I'm a little bit biased on that front. It is my personal opinion that your standard life coach is a glorified pickup artist. They have a very strict playbook that they run from. They get taught only several ways to deal with any particular situation instead of problem solving skills and so on and so forth. They are more or less told by whoever is teaching them that my way is the way to do it. Here's how you should be helping your people. And I have no truck for having to spend hundreds of dollars to be taught how to teach people to be sheep and then milk them for thousands of dollars to give them something that they could have gotten in an online brochure. I am a problem solver by nature. I once had an ex-girlfriend describe me as that woman standing there with clipboard. I come across as cold sometimes because I tend to look at things logically. I see an obstacle, I want to get past it. I see a problem, I want to solve it. So what I tend to do is once I have been brought a problem, I ask if I'm allowed to ring in on the topic when it comes to a friend. If it's a client, obviously they're coming to me for my advice. However, I start with, okay, I see an issue here. May I give you my 2 cents? Once I've been given permission, I outline what I feel the issue may be if I haven't already been told, hey, Angie, I think this, and this are my problem. How do I deal with that? I then ask a series of questions to try and get an idea of how a person generally problem solves, how a person generally socially interacts, and so on and so forth. And from those seemingly inane questions, I am able to get a grasp on how the person thinks, how the person deals emotionally on a very shallow level, and then offer several ideas on how to fix whatever the particular obstacle is. We work together to create an action plan. So I may say, hey, Aku, you say you have this problem. I've asked you some questions, and here's what I've come up with. We have solution A, solution B, or solution C. I then generally have you come back to me and say, okay, well, I kind of like A, don't really like B or C, but what about D, E, or F? And then we converse together to find a way that works for you. It is not my job or my inclination to create little mini-me's running around the planet. I want to help you be the best version of you that you want to be. I like to blame it on being the eldest child. I have 2 younger sisters who are 5 and 7 years younger than I am, and I am the eldest grandchild on my father's side, and almost the eldest on my mom's side. So I've always been someone that people have come to with small problems than my big problems. I was also generally put in a mentor position in school because they labeled me as gifted. And one of the only ways they really had to focus my drive was to give me somebody to help because I came from a small school and they didn't have the funding for one-on-one programs. It certainly is some of the time. I have certain clients who don't want sex at all. They simply want the advice, the intimacy of kissing, snuggling, watching movies, just going on a dinner date. And that's part of where you get the girlfriend experience. They're looking for someone to talk to, somebody to relate to, someone to come home to without all of the emotional drama or the psychological trauma of having to leap through their particular hoops of, oh, I had such a bad day and I'm going to take it out on you, which can, I'm not saying that's always the case. I'm saying it's been the case that they have had, and they're looking for the no strings attached version of it. And one of the things with any girlfriend experience is that the whole point is that you, the client, get your ideal experience. So you let the worker know what you want from them, of what you do want to do, what you don't want to do, whether it's no talking at all and just sitting and watching TV and giving the person foot rub, or just sitting there and talking for 3 hours. I have had clients who have paid me for 6 hours work, and 5 hours of that was chit chat. Half an hour of that is massage, and half an hour of that is sex. For myself, I try to do a lot of that via text first, so whether it's or email, or talk, or whatever, so that by the time they get in the room with me, they've already had their fears explained. Try to not hold any punches. I am sarcastic to be. I am snippy when I need to be. If somebody has crossed a social boundary with me, I put them in their place and say, look, that's not appropriate. If you want to continue with me, you're going to act in X, Y, Z manner. It's as much for my sanity as it is for their safety, because they should know what they're expecting from me as much as I should know what they're expecting, as what I'm expecting from them. If we want to take a look at it in that particular aspect, most of the clients that I deal with, it actually ends up being subbing from the top, in that I am the one that is calm, cool, collected, and very mild spoken, and they get to guide the conversation. I will admit that I am a very manipulative human. However, I'm really good. And that means is that I am able to read and get conversation, whether it's verbal or text based, in the direction to achieve our goal, whether it's my goal. If it's a conversation that is my goal, is something is in your I want to see how you deal with my person, and I want to see how you deal with me. I need to know you can accept boundaries and that you can give guidance. I don't know you well enough to know what you want from me in a date. You have to tell me. There are too many things of service too. Like I have a very wide range of items that I came to, because I'm submissive, I am dominant, I am a geek, I am this, I am that, I am the other thing. So you have to let me know what it is on. I can tell you what I won't do, but that list is doesn't really get of trying to figure out what will and won't work for you. But once we're in the room, it's all about me trying to see what you want. I've actually been really bad with that, and I think that is due to two things. One is my style of journey, in that I will have more expectations for how they go with conversation. And another is I also have if I will double or triple my focus. I think it would be safer to say that I didn't realize that someone was intelligent. The unexpected. I I like to assume that everybody is just anxiety. And I learned to navigate a room and figure out who will see and who won't on whatever topic. But Kingston what I've been proud